All right, so I ended up reading the developer this thing right here, the API this thing right here, right? And it says right here that at least one of these parts um have to be not anchored. So the reason why it wasn't working was because both parts were anchored, not just the dummy, but the hit part itself. So at least one of the two parts have to be unanchored. That was the problem. This guy, I literally saw this guy's thing right after I figured this out. So he was saying that he solved. He said all you have to do is unanchor the rigs. Um, he said I should remove the humanoid, but that wasn't the problem. Um, but yeah, it wasn't the rigs. The rigs weren't the problem. The problem was both parts, both the hitbox and the rigs were unanchored. I think he says here. Let me see. Oh, it says when you spawn a rig, it automatically anchors it. Yeah, the rigs are anchored. Yeah, when spawning bricks, they're unanchored. No, the hitbox that I spawned was anchored before it was parented to workspace. So the problem wasn't just the rig; it was the hitbox itself as well. They were both anchored. See, look, when I spawned in the go back. See, it says box not anchored equals true, and then I return the box, right? And then we said hitbox equals this thing which returns the box, and then we parent it. So the problem wasn't that the hitbox wasn't automatically anchored, so that's not true. The problem was that both the part and the rig was anchored. That's why it didn't work. So what script is this? This one? Box. See from. This won't work. No idea. Let me see. Okay, so this is the okay. So let's put our thing. This thing right here, right? So yeah, this is anchored, right? Cool. Yeah, I know when you spawn these are automatically anchored. I know that. The problem was that the hitbox itself was anchored, right? Let me try. If I were to set like, if I were to, that's why when I welded it to the character and I unanchored it, it worked because the hitbox wasn't anchored. So at least one of the parts have to be unanchored. Let me try unanchoring just the right arm because I'm pretty sure the right arm is anchored, right? No, the whole model is anchored. Okay. So if I unanchor the model, see that's not making any sense either. Let's try again. So logically, right? The humanoid root part is anchored, right? Oh, okay, that's why. I understand now. You see, even though only the humanoid root parts are anchored, right? We still have these little motor 6D joint things which connect it to the humanoid root part. If I were to unanchor the humanoid root part, I'm pretty sure it'd still be the same. And I anchored the torso, right? We run it. It probably still will not print anything. Yeah, because like they're all linked with this. That's why. So yeah, the problem was that both the hitbox and the rigs, just both the hitbox. The problem was even the rig. The problem was that if two parts are anchored, right? If two parts are anchored, the touch event cannot fire. So even if I move it with like a tween that moves a C-frame, as long as both parts are anchored, they will not collide. Like it would not fire the touched event. That was a problem. The problem was that both the hitbox and the target part were anchored. One of them at least one of them has to not be anchored. That's why it didn't work.